his knife up in preparation for the next strike, he realized the stranger wasn't turning to face him. Was not, it seemed, following the fight at all. Rather, the figure stumbled forward into the space Venick had just vacated, dagger swiping through the air and nothing. Blind or just stupid? Didn't matter. Venick knew an opening when he saw one, and he wasn't about to let it go to waste. He flipped his grip on his knife, drew the green glass overhead. His eyes had adjusted enough by then to make out the shape of his attacker, the slender build, the long slope of each shoulder. Venick watched the elf. Was it an elf? Stagger another step forward, his feet tangling in Venick's bedroll. Venick brought his weapon down. The elf spun at the last second, lifting his arm to block the blow. No shield, no gloves or greaves, just a pale hand jutting between them. Stupid, then. Venick heard more than saw his own knife whistle through the air, the snip as it pierced the elf's outstretched wrist. He expected his attacker to cry and jerk back, had planned to use that opening to step in closer, jab his blade into the stranger's throat. Only the elf didn't recoil. Didn't react in any way, like Venick hadn't just sunk his weapon into flesh, like he hadn't delivered a wound that would leave anyone reeling. Venick's mind was slow. He'd been acting, reacting, adrenaline overriding his ability to think. By the time his brain caught up with the rest of him, the thought was already there, waiting like a stage actor behind the curtain. This wasn't right. None of it was. The stranger in his tent, the absence of his guard, the odd, ineffectual fighting. That's when Venick noticed the stench. It was subtle, an acrid mix of foul breath and rot. Again, Venick's mind was slow. It strained, pulled against the end of its own chain, metal rattling. As the elf tore his wrist free and Venick fought to keep hold of his knife, the shackles of Venick's mind broke free. And he remembered. He remembered the elven city of Evov, that high and forbidden place, overtaken last summer in a coup orchestrated by Farah, the Dark Queen. He remembered Ellina, so brave and so strong and so foolish, who had used her powers of stealth and deceit to uncover the Dark Queen's secrets. He remembered those secrets, each its own horror, but one more horrible than the rest. The elf seemed to have forgotten his dagger. The blade hung uselessly by his side as he stretched out his injured hand to grab Venick's throat. Venick beat the hand away and moved in again, low this time, a strike in the thigh, in and out, a gash that should have left anyone incapacitated. The elf didn't even flinch. Understanding burned through Venick. He tasted it on his tongue. In the elf-lands there were two types of conjurers. Northern conjurers like Ellina, who could break through ancient magic and learn to lie in Elvish, and southern conjurers like Yuvan and Balad, who could move shadows and summon storms and, according to Ellina, control the dead. Venick's knife couldn't help him. He knew that now. Yet he squeezed it in his fist like a lifeline as his attacker made a noise, a rattling hiss that turned Venick's insides to jelly. The figure took another step forward, and for the first time Venick caught a real glimpse of its face, the hollows where cheeks should have been, the blank white eyes. Venick's heart was wild, his breath raked up his throat. He hefted his foot and kicked. His heel connected with the creature's chest, sent it flying into the wall of the tent. The canvas collapsed over both of them, and for a moment Venick's panic sealed over. His senses scrambled. He thrashed, cutting frantically at the fabric, ripping free into the frigid night air, desperate to put as much distance as he could between himself and that thing. The commotion was finally waking nearby soldiers. Several men jogged over to see what the trouble was. Their faces were confused and sleep-heavy, their mouths a collective murmur of, "Commander?" They hadn't yet seen what Venick had, didn't yet know what Venick knew. Behind them, the creature was struggling to free its legs from the tangles of the fallen tent, to much less effect. Illuminated by torchlight, Venick could tell that the elf had been once, and recently, alive. Its skin was supple, muscles well-defined. Only its